Hello everyone and welcome to Chef Sherry's Plant-Based Kitchen. I have been inside all day long on a very cold, blistery winter day. We hit a high, I think maybe -1 below zero today, and the wind chills were as high as 40 below. So I wasn't going outside. And actually it worked out well for me because I've hurt my back playing pickleball and I started physical therapy, and I have to do these like strengthening exercises like 4 times a day. So I have lots of time to do them, and I can say that my back is doing much better as a result of my physical therapy and all these good exercises. So tonight I thought we would make something that Dale and I love, and that is we're going to have Reuben sandwiches. Now, a traditional Reuben sandwich would be rye bread, some Thousand Island dressing, some sauerkraut, and corned beef. But as you know, we're not using the corned beef. We're using something called tempeh. I don't know if everyone is familiar with tempeh. I bet most of you are, but for those of you who aren't, it comes in a package like this. I get this Light Life tempeh. And what tempeh is, let me read you this little definition that I think is just perfect. Tempeh is a traditional Indonesian food made from fermented soybeans. It is made by a natural culturing process and controlled fermentation that binds soybeans into a cake form. So this came in one big piece, but as you can see here, here's the tempeh. I've sliced it into small pieces and I've put it in a marinade. Now, this is not a recipe that I found from one person. These are several recipes from different people that I'm combining to make my Reuben sandwiches. So the first thing we did was to make the marinade. And there are a lot of ways you can make marinades for tempeh or for tofu, because you know this doesn't taste like much until you put a marinade on it. So this is the marinade that I chose. I think recently I've talked to you about the Thug Kitchen cookbook, and this is my favorite marinade, not just for tempeh but for tofu as well. It's a smoky maple marinade, and I just wanted to show you the ingredients that went into it. You just stir it in a bowl so it's nothing hard. So you take a half cup soy sauce or tamari. I used Bragg liquid aminos. You could also use coconut aminos. I used vegetable broth, some maple syrup, some liquid smoke, which gives it the smoky flavor, lemon juice, which I keep in my freezer. I do my own lemon juice, and then I pull these out as needed. They're still frozen, but I'll defrost them when we need them. Some garlic, and some tomato paste. I omitted the olive oil because he uses olive oil. You don't need it. It's a wonderful marinade. So we're going to put this on the stove and stir fry it to get it ready for our sandwich. Now, let's move over here and let's talk about the Thousand Island dressing that I found. This dressing was created by a woman by the name of Melissa Huggins. She has a site called Vegan Hugs, and I've been making this for years. It looks like a lot of ingredients, and yeah, maybe it is, but it's very easy to do because all you have to do basically is toss everything into a Vitamix or a high-powered blender. So here's the only thing that she says to do ahead of time, and I didn't even do this. I have raw cashews here, and you're supposed to soak them 2 to 4 hours ahead of time and then rinse off. So to skip that step, to make them soft, I just boiled them for about 10 minutes, and then I drained them off, and that made them soft enough. And then we use sun-dried tomatoes, and all you have to do is soak these in hot water for 10 minutes. It rehydrates them. Then we use plant milk. I chose soy milk. Again, lemon juice, maple syrup, some sea salt, onion powder, garlic powder, pepper, dried dill, some paprika. There are a lot of ingredients, but it's so delicious. It's worth it. And the last thing, I'm looking, here it is. There it is. And some sweet relish. So again, I threw it all into the blender, and in less than 2 minutes, look at this wonderful, wonderful Thousand Island dressing. So it makes a lot, so you're not going to need a lot if you're just making a couple sandwiches, but you can use this on your salads when you're done. So you've got two things in one. So I like things that we can use in other ways. So let's come over to the stove. I'm going to take my marinated tempeh and we're going to put it on this in this pan. And we're going to turn it on and we're just going to grill it. So we want to get it cooked through a little bit. Doesn't take very long. And I'll use this to sort of move it around. And some of the marinade will evaporate and we'll have a wonderful tasting tempeh. Because you want this to be flavorful. I'm going to check my peas here while we're talking. I use Salad Master cookware. You don't need any water in here, so it really preserves all the nutrients. And I put it on very low. I'm going to turn that down just a drop and let it keep cooking the peas. We'll have that tonight as well. Cover that up. I turned it a little too low. There we go. Okay, so let's see if this is going to start to cook. Yes, it will. And you just sort of let it cook, and then I'm going to flip it over. You want it to get nice and warm and hot and cook through. I can hear it already making noise. Can you hear that, skillet? You can also hear the sound of the wind through our vent here. It is so windy out today. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we'll let that cook. And while that's cooking, I'm going to get my dressing and my sauerkraut ready because we can start to prepare the bread. I've got a skillet here, and I'm going to take the Thousand Island dressing and I'm going to spread it. I'm going to spread it actually on both sides of the bread because it gives it good flavor. So we'll do all of this ahead of time while the tempeh is cooking. Just spread it nice and evenly. That might be a little too much. We'll do this one, and this one, and it's so delicious. You won't miss the corned beef, I promise you. And then we'll also go ahead and take the sauerkraut. Let me stir this up just a little bit here. It's starting to sizzle over here. I'm going to just flip it around a little. Just let it keep cooking. And then I'm going to take my sauerkraut, which I strained and I washed with water to get some of the salt off of it, because sauerkraut is pretty salty. So now, and I also squeezed out all the moisture, because the last thing you want on a Reuben sandwich is watery sauerkraut. So it's nice and dry, and we're going to just lay this on top as well. I think I did too much, Dale, but if I know you, you'll eat two sandwiches at least, right?
That could be a problem.
I know. Okay, so it's really, that's all there is to it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start to grill the bottoms of this pan. I'm going to watch it so that it doesn't stick too much. And then we're going to add our tempeh on and we'll flip those over. So here it goes. You can see how it's sizzling up over here. You want to get it nice and brown. Take a look at that. Isn't that pretty? And again, oh, the smell. Can you smell that, Dale?
Yeah.
Yummy. So good. You know, I think I've even frozen that Thousand Island dressing and used it again too. So you can try it. Well, I think I might have it up too high. We don't want to burn out all the marinade. Okay. It's almost ready. It's starting to come apart a little bit more. And then I'm going to scoot back over here and check out my peas, which are doing well. Look at that. No water needed in these pans. Look how pretty they look. These are one of the most non-toxic things you can do in cookware is getting these Salad Master pots and pans. They're fabulous. No heavy metals getting into your body, which is really important. Look at that. Okay, so let me come over here. I'm going to get this going. I don't want it to burn, so we're going to take a look. I'm going to turn this up. It's hard to see, so I have to turn this up a little so I can see what we're doing. Okay. And start to let the bread cook.
Now you notice I didn't put any of the vegan margarine or any of that on the bread. You don't really need it. You really don't. So it'll be just fine like that. We're just going to flip it over. And I'm going to take some of this tempeh. I'm going to put it on our bread. I think we'll put it on top of the sauerkraut.
You want to get a good amount, whoops, on your sandwich. We don't want to do that. And if it falls apart a little, it's fine. Let's see if I can get it out. More. Oh, I'm dropping it there. It's got to stay on top. Okay. Well, I know it's sizzling, so that's good. Now we'll move over to this one. Place some on here. And we'll have enough tempeh left for more sandwiches tomorrow if we so choose to have that. Okay. Now I'm going to take this. I'm going to put it on top. Okay. I'm going to move it around a little. Now, here's something that you might want to do because you want to flatten these guys out a little bit. I'm going to take a pan and I'm just going to put it on there and push down. And that sort of flattens them. Now you just want to make sure it doesn't start to cook onto the bottom of the pan though. Sometimes that happens, but we're going to watch it. And as soon as we think that we can flip them, if they're brown on one side, we're going to do that. So let's just hold on here for a few minutes. Maybe not that long. Can you see how it's flattened out the sandwiches? I'm going to lift this so you can see. It's making them flatter. Just putting a little pressure on. Yeah. So, you know, I love pickleball, but boy, pickleball has not loved me lately. It just did such a number on my back. I could hardly walk on Saturday. I was like limping around, but thank goodness I was able to get into a therapist this week and get some help. So I think I'll be okay. It's just going to take time. Turn this up a little so we can get some heat going. And I can use this to push down as well. Sizzling. There we go. Looks like the peas are almost done. So I know everybody all over the country is struggling with these cold temperatures that we're having. It's just awful. I hope that all of you have your heat and your water. We had a water heater that went today, so we have to have it replaced. The cold just, it's amazing. I don't remember this cold in a long time. How about you, Dale? Really bad. Okay, let me take a look. Yep, that's browning, so I'm going to flip it over. There we go. Let's put this back on top. It's not hot. Okay. We'll push down. And that's all there is to it. So I'm going to let you see the beautiful plates that I have to put it on because they're so cute. A friend of mine got these for me years ago for a housewarming gift, and they're sandwich plates, so I'll show you in a second. Just want to make sure that they're nice and brown. So you see the whole thing, once you have your stuff ready to go, your marinade takes maybe, what, a few minutes? Not long. Okay. Make sure it's not sticking. Okay. We use this one. That's better. Oh yeah, see how brown that got? That's good though, we want it brown. Gonna give it about 30 seconds on the other side, turn it off, and dinner will be served. Turn off my peas. Show you how pretty they look. Look at that, without a drop of water in there. Very pretty. All those nutrients. Okay, let's take a look. Yep, that's ready. Put it over here. I'm going to cut them in half. I'm going to try to cut them in half. Let me try another knife. That wasn't wise to do that. Put that back on. And we'll do this one. And there is our beautiful Reuben tempeh sandwiches. So give these a try. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time back in my kitchen. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye for now.